What is up, my doggies? We're here with episode 2 of us talking about episodes 5 through 8 of JoJo Part 4. Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
It's your boy RK and also
Josh.
We're here with new takes on these next few episodes. Any overall things you want to say about them?
Not as much happening in these 4, I would say, as the first 4, but that makes sense. I'd say one other thing, intro has grown on me a bit more. Still not nearly as impactful or iconic to me as the second Part 2's intro, but it's enjoyable, serviceable,
and also fun. It gets you in the right atmosphere, right environment, right mood. We're gonna have a mildly strange adventure in this crazy, noisy, bizarre town.
Yep.
So, what adventures did we have today? Well, we start off with episode 5 over here. And
the introduction of the dead.
Right. So it seems like the brother character is dead, but it's JoJo. You can never say exactly for sure who's dead and who's not.
Yeah, the fact that Koichi is not dead after the whole arrow thing just kind of proves that much.
Also, we didn't know the brother's name last time. I wrote it down here. It's Keicho.
Okay.
So now we know it's Keicho.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like he's dead. But not so much, which is fine. And then I wrote that they go snooping. Oh yeah, they're gonna try to find that bow and arrow.
Yep. Which the lightning guy has now.
Right.
Oh well, they look for it in the house, and then it gets taken when the brother dies.
Yeah, so they're looking for the arrow because they're like, "Hey, we're here. Let's go find that arrow." And we're trying. I'm sure we're just trying to remember what happens.
Well, yeah, okay. So this wasn't the most memorable or significant episode, I feel.
Right.
But I'd say the 2 most noteworthy things are Brother Down and Freaky Dad.
I will say they run into this dad, and immediately Koichi gets covered in the slime. The slime that Josuke can easily get off of him because he hits the guy, and that's why the slime is there. And the whole time I'm like, Josuke, get that slime off of Koichi. It's bothering me. He's messy. Clean him up. You can do it. I've seen you do it.
Well, to be fair, is Koichi not capable of getting it off himself?
That's true, but it might be, I don't know. If you wipe something gooey off of you, it might get stuck a little bit. Josuke can get all of it off, probably super easy. But he's chosen not to. That being said, the brother character being dead was clickbait, but then it wasn't because... but we'll get to that later. And then I said, oh dang, Dad Company, because the stand was Bad Company, but I wrote it Dad Company, and then there was a
I didn't write anything, but I did also think that.
Yeah, and then later I wrote Dad Company, more like Sad Company, because the story was sad.
Appropriate.
So that's the third take on that title. Anyway, so this dad.
Of course, it's Dio's fault again.
Yeah.
Everything is Dio's fault.
I mean, yeah.
Although, in a way, it's really more Jotaro's fault.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess so. I guess so. So the brother's trying to find out ways to kill his dad because his dad won't die. And I wrote real meaty vibes. If anyone out there is a Made in Abyss kid.
I am not. Can I just say...
Yeah.
Okay, so he has an unkillable father, so he dedicates himself to finding a stand user that can kill his father. If he is trying to use stands to overcome what seems an impossible task to overcome, why has he become so certain that it's impossible to fix his dad?
Oh, it's impossible.
But, like, so is killing his dad.
Yeah,
but
like,
if stand
maybe
users can fix one problem, why can't they fix the
it's
other
impossible.
problem?
Just can't do it.
So we have two impossible things. One where it's a happy outcome and one where it's a bittersweet outcome, and he's dedicated himself to the bittersweet outcome.
Yeah, it's the way it has to be. So
I mean, to be fair, his dad wasn't the best person.
Flesh buds.
He doesn't have that
He got
much
Dio's
reason
flesh
to
buds.
Yes, he did.
So okay, is like the goopy stuff related to Dio flesh buds? Because I think that'd be goofy.
What do you mean?
Anyway,
I don't know what you mean by that.
Stands.
Yeah, so the brother he's making people have stands so he can find someone to kill his dad.
And the brother gets so mad at the dad for like being sad, and then I wrote down, he still has memories, you loser, you little weirdo. Stop kicking your dad. He still has his memories. Calm down. How did you not notice this? Josuke noticed immediately.
Yeah, that I did think that was pretty ridiculous. Like, how long did he say it's been? It's definitely been years.
Yeah. Goodness. What are we doing here? The brother characters fight Okuyasu and Keicho. They get into a little bit of bickering. And, uh-oh. It's Red Hot Chili Pepper.
I forgot that's what its name was. That makes no sense. It's an electricity guy.
Uh-oh, it's Red Hot Chili Pepper.
Why would you name it that?
Here to ruin your day.
Okay, so I get that they're all named for, like, music stuff. Why would you choose that name for that stand?
Because he's spicy.
You
take one bite and you get zapped.
I mean,
you get crispy.
I guess, sure, electricity can burn. Fair enough. But why would you not give it to a fire stand?
So anyway. And then the stand straight up kills this guy.
Yep.
We thought he was dead at the beginning. He wasn't. But then he had like a turn where he was like, I'm kind of good. I might be helpful. And then he gets killed.
I am dead.
And
like out on the electric wires.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
That's JoJo brutality.
The last thing he says is he tells Okuyasu, "You were always holding me back."
Yeah.
Which, I don't know if I should, like, how much to read into that. I was thinking maybe it was supposed to, like, try to be something to teach Okuyasu as, like, a motivator so that he might grow into somebody who isn't holding people back. Because that's kind of a powerful thing to come back to in your mind. Like, I need to become somebody that my brother wouldn't say something like that to. Or maybe he was just being mean. I
just sort of read it as the sort of non-romantic tsundere.
Yeah.
Just
okay. Like... He just wanted to...
I always hated you, jerk face.
He just wanted to do a little mean joke at the end to lighten the mood, maybe, as he's dying.
Yeah. Although, Okuyasu choosing to take from that moment the fact that his brother protects him and not the fact that his last words were an insult.
Yeah, that's true. He's a good kid. And, he's being really sad and serious, and so is Josuke. And then Koichi comes up here like nothing's wrong, and it's like, Koichi, go away.
Yeah.
Anyway. then I wrote that the villains are a little goofy. It tries to call Jotaro, and Jotaro's taking it really seriously, but this is like a goofy villain moment. You're like, Jotaro's like using very reasonable deduction skills to figure things out, and the villain's like, oh, you caught me. I didn't say that. Any other thoughts here?
At the very end, Josuke says something along the lines of, you could call that a shocking revelation. And I'm like, did you just joke about this dude's brother's death, man?
Well,
right in front of his face, like a day after it happened.
Sometimes that's just how it is. Yeah, so
That's
I guess they're
cold.
friends. I guess they're friends now, though, because Okuyasu shows up to Josuke's house and he's like,
does.
hey, Josuke, let's go to school. And then they go to school. So, I guess they're buddies now. Any thoughts about that episode?
I was disappointed, actually, with the reveal of the dad, because there was a lot of things running through my head when they were like walking into that room about what could possibly be in there. My top hope was a dog, just a normal, non-aggressive dog that was just there.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to let you know, there's another dog, and it's a pretty good dog.
Okay. Well, I know Koichi has a dog.
That's true. What's his name? Police?
Yes.
Good.
And he just sort of lays there doing nothing all the time.
Reminds me of the dog in Hamtaro.
I don't remember the dog in Hamtaro. I don't remember Hamtaro really at all other than the song.
Well, they were good, and there was a dog. The dog was usually sleepy. Anyway, okay, so I'll let you have your big speeches or whatever at the last two episodes or around there. But I do have to start off with this next episode.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I have a lot of very capital letters here.
I don't actually have a lot for this one. A bit more than the last one, but not that much.
First, I mean, overall, this episode 6, I thought I didn't really like. I thought that there were some pretty good concepts, but I felt like a lot of the conflict was just through poor communication, and it just came off as feeling like a kind of bad writing. If the characters were better at talking, then a lot of things wouldn't be problems.
Yeah.
But that's not what I'm here to yell about right now. What I'm here to yell about right now is I wrote Koichi has a bike, I don't know. And then I had a mental breakdown with this cat the first time that I saw this episode.
Oh, man, yeah.
Because I would have literally killed this man. And I'm confessing to this on air presently, right now, that if somebody had done something like this to me, would have purposely put a cat out in the middle of the road so that I would run over it and let a cat die, they would be dead. My life would be over. Maybe I would go to prison. Maybe I would get the death sentence. I don't care. Whoever is gonna do something like that, anyone who pulls a trick like that, they're dead. I don't know what Koichi was doing, being nervous and guilty. I would have killed this man. He would be gone immediately. Not even a second thought. I wouldn't even have time to discover this cat was fake. He would be dead. And I was mad at Koichi for not getting more upset. I wrote that he's scared, but not enough. That's a dead cat I'd murder.
So, quick question.
Yeah.
Did you put together that the cat was fake at any point before they reveal it?
Yes, the first time I imagined so, like immediately. But,
Okay.
But I was also like, if this does turn out to be a real cat, I am writing to somebody because I know they kill dogs and I love dogs and I like dogs more than cats. But those are like actual like angry villains killing dogs. Whereas like this is just supposed to be some like prankster tricky guy that like swindles people out of money, and like one of his casual ideas is to like kill a cat. That wouldn't be okay. There would be tears and there would be fears.
Well, I do have in my notes, I hope he gets his face pounded in by the end of this episode. Well, after that.
He certainly gets hurt. Yeah, I wrote that I wouldn't feel guilty, I would feel murdery. And then I wrote that Koichi's a coward. And that this guy is 2 feet tall. And I just got really angry. Anyway, I'll let you take it away from there.
Okay. Well, I said that was I do appreciate that the conflict in this episode is driven by by dialogue and by more psychological warfare than anything else. I do think there were some faults in the execution of that. I think that certain things could have been done better. I think the resolution was kind of dumb. But I did enjoy the concept. And there were certainly parts of it that I felt were handled better than others.
Let's go through this. So there's the cat scene, and what did you think of the cat?
Well, I did also. I immediately figured that it wasn't a real cat. It did still frustrate me, and I did kind of partially blame Koichi. Like, he was clearly distracted by his admiration of his own bike in that moment.
That's true. I don't think I would blame him, but either, it's fine.
I definitely think he doesn't hold the majority of the blame for that situation, but I gave him a bit. But I did enjoy the concept of the guilt stand.
That's a good concept.
That
I really do think it could have been written into a very clever episode.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a lot of potential there, and it wasn't fully realized.
Yeah, I have some notes about Koichi's stand that are similar to that. But I wrote, after the whole cat thing, there's a thing where he's, like, apologizing and he's giving back the wallet. And then he's got the little pieces of money ripped off the side. And that's supposed to be, like, a fun, cool trick. But, like, he didn't have to rip off the money. He could have just given them the wallet and they probably would have assumed the cash was in there.
Yeah.
Also, it was only $70, like, around $70. It's not.
I mean, I'd still be frustrated if I lost that.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. I'm just saying, he went through a lot of trouble to get that money.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's weird to rip money, but that comes back later in like another thing that I don't think is that clever. The stand is called the lock, I guess. I wrote that these are bad lies. And that they're easily explainable. These people are just bad at communication. So it really is just like Koichi like stumbling over himself when like this guy is pinning all this stuff on him. Where I don't know. It must be just like a thing where he's like, 15, probably doesn't talk to his mom a lot.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair,
yeah,
I feel like it's well within the character of Koichi and I'm so terrible with names. The other friend, the younger brother.
Oh, Okuyasu.
Yeah, Okuyasu. in both of their characters' nature to be pretty thoroughly fooled by this guy and fall for his tricks.
Yeah. I was excited though that Okuyasu's first response was just to hurt him.
Yes, that was good. I think Okuyasu has an interesting combination of being the type to either be able to immediately overcome him or very quickly fall for him, depending on how things go down. And it kind of went in both directions.
Yeah, I definitely think that the character writing is very good in this series. Mm-hmm. They definitely understand their characters. But I think by nature of having to write all these very complicated situations all the time, some of them aren't going to be as carefully thought out. And I felt like this one was kind of a weaker one, which is fine.
Yeah.
There's nothing that wasn't, like, explainable. Like, everything kind of made sense. I don't know. I wrote that Koichi gets mad after the guy gets his mom and his sister involved. And I wrote that he should have gotten this mad when he thought he killed a cat.
Yeah.
Because that was, I feel like, a little bit more extreme. But, well, he gets very angry, and it's supposed to, I don't know if it's supposed to come off as cool or interesting with his character.
Yeah.
He's a very not threatening character.
I do like the ability of his stand, though.
Yes, his stand. Do you want to talk about it first before?
Yeah, into it? I fully fell for that situation of thinking for a second that it was completely useless. But then I they show it makes sounds, and I thought, wow, that's. That could have some pretty interesting uses. Mm-hmm. And I love the idea of just, again, it's psychological warfare in the fact that he's not doing any actual damage to this guy, but he's putting him through, like, the perception of being just completely destroyed internally with the noises that he's making.
Now,
that just the way it totally paralyzes him. I do like. I have discussions with people all the time of the potential weaknesses of the senses, how they can be flawed or tricked, and I do like the fact that was pretty much the sole advantage that Koichi had in this situation.
Yes. So, here's the thing with Koichi's stand. Gosh, I don't want to give too much away.
I have seen
so I might have to...
from GIFs and stuff that this is not its full ability or form.
Yeah, okay, so I'll try to, a little bit talk about this. The problem I have with his stand is I don't understand exactly what it can do. I understand that it changes, and I understand that I think the theme, what they were going for with this, was that it's supposed to create, like, the sound symbols, I don't know what it's called, like, when you, in, like, manga, when you write giant, like, noises in characters. Yeah. I do that, too, in writing my comics. So it's supposed to be something like that. But I don't know how strong that's supposed to be. Because here it's portrayed one way. I'll have to re-watch, like, when it transforms or whatever, when it gets better. Because I don't think I understand the full capability of what it can do and how it can be used. Because... I don't know.
Do you mean, like, what kind of sounds it can make or how convincing they are? Or
well, because at some point later, it turns into not just that it can do sounds, but it can, like, sort of, like I said, I didn't want to give too much away, but it can, like, actually affect things and change how things are. And I want to know how powerful that is, because it would be very OP if it gets like if he can really do anything that he wants to do. So there's probably limitations, but I don't know if they're ever set, and so that's why I'm a little lost with this stand. However, I do like the idea, the concept of it, and I think it's cool that it goes with his character of like he's kind of like a little nerd boy who likes comics. I don't know, which is explored a little bit more later, but and that it's like, you know, it's a little less fighty by nature. But what was the other thing I was gonna say? Oh yeah, I don't like how it's first introduced though. I don't like that its first things that it does is the whole noise effects of fighting. I thought that was a little bit standard, and I wish that it was something a little bit more interesting. I mean, it's fine, and I understand why they might do that, but I thought it had the potential of doing something really cool.
Yeah, initially. But to be fair, Koichi wouldn't know what to do with it.
That's true. First. That's true. It's it fits into the story a lot better this way. Any other notes on that?
Well, let's see. Actually, no, I don't think I had anything else for that one.
Just in general, at this point, I start getting in a bad mood because it's a lot of Koichi focused episodes, and I start like getting a little tired of it. I really don't hate him. I just do get tired of him.
I would like to see some more of the other characters, honestly.
Yeah, which we will, like, I don't know why, like, we get so much Koichi and then we just kind of drop him later, but whatever. that's fine. Do you want to take us into episode 7?
Yes. So with this one, another interesting stand.
Yes. I do like this stand.
I feel he only uses it. Did he use it on anyone other than the guy in the opening scene with the eye gouging and Josuke in this episode?
I don't think so. He mentions using it on different people, but
yeah, I mean, I feel like it would have been neat to see him use it on more people, but it's whatever. It's not a big issue, but
I like that it's a mannequin.
Yes,
but I also wrote down that like Josuke should have been immediately suspicious when he saw a mannequin that big, because there's no way like a kid in high school can afford one of those. That's probably like $200 or $300. But
well, I don't know if Josuke would know that. I wouldn't know that.
Josuke probably wouldn't know that. But I would have been onto him. I would have been suspicious.
Of course, I also wouldn't have had the initial thought of, this is for art. I would have just been like, why?
This is a weirdo.
Why is this here?
I would Snapchat it immediately. I'd put it on my Instagram story. I'd put it on my Twitter and ask everybody if they knew who this person was. But I think it's cool that that's what it is. Although this stand user is a little weirdo.
Also, going back to the very first scene we see, the guy gouging out his eye.
I like that. I thought that was fun.
Yeah, that seems to be the go-to move of this stand user is making people gouge out their own eyes, which is...
He learned how to do that. He watched a movie and he was like, that's how it's gonna happen.
I guess you gotta have a calling card.
Yeah. That's actually kind of fun. Not to like give things away, but yeah, it's mentioned here and there in this episode, but this guy's like really into manga, so that'd be funny if that's what he was going for. He's like, I'm a manga villain. Yeah, I wrote that this stand is called Surface, and the abilities are very. It reminded me of Shikamaru's Shadow Possession jutsu thing. He can control people. He can mimic people's...
Yeah.
They do what he does.
Only he doesn't have the issue of actually doing them himself.
Mm-hmm.
He has a mannequin stand to do it for him.
A fun mannequin friend. How fun is that? He's got his own little friend.
That is neat. I feel like it's unfortunately slightly wasted on this guy because he clearly doesn't see his stand as a friend.
He doesn't like
it as like a slave and a frustrating one.
Yeah, that's a little rude.
Yeah.
He's got one of the only stands that can like actively talk to him. He's wasting it.
One thing I picked up on that was interesting is that at one point, I don't know, it might have just been like maybe a fault of the subbing or something, or maybe this was actually what they said, but it seemed like it implied that the personality of the stand is influenced by who he's copying at the time.
Oh, I guess
it was just
paying attention.
It was just in one line while they were going to the train station. He mentioned other people he had it turn into when he was talking about what makes him annoyed with his stand. And I mean, it did sound like he was saying that it took on personality traits of the people that he was frustrated with. That's
fun. I hope that's true, because that's really fun and I like that. The almost cat killer guy was there.
Yep, and he got hospitalized.
Yes, he did get
hospitalized. And everyone totally just ignored his presence and forgot about him. I'm so glad
everybody forgot about him. That was... Thank you for getting back to that Iraqi. That was... I needed that in my heart.
Also, we get the first glimpse of the lady from the next episode.
That's true.
And my initial thought was just, why? Why would you? Why would you ever like this man?
Yes. We should get back to that, but they show Koichi's stand again to do a train sound, and that was, I thought, a in the moment use that was interesting.
It was, but my initial thought when he said he was going to use Koichi's stand was just make it like I don't know the limit of its range or its volume, but just make some sort of message to Jotaro, because they're getting close at that point.
Yeah.
I just thought they were just gonna use it to get to Jotaro.
We do find out soon that it has not a huge range, but maybe it might have been. I don't know. What do I write next?
Also, when they get to the train station, there's a quick transition shot of a turtle, and I appreciated that. That was a nice turtle.
Well, they get there and they meet up with Jotaro. And then Josuke takes the pen from Jotaro's jacket, and I was like, Jotaro, how do you not notice or care that Josuke's taking a pen? Like, he reaches into his jacket. Nobody says anything.
I don't know, maybe Jotaro was just trying to be polite. Like,
Also, like, Josuke just knows that he's got a pen there. Like, like as if that was his jacket. But he goes to stab himself with the pen, stab Jotaro with the pen, rather.
Yeah.
But then there's some really good timing again here with
the thugs, the random biker thugs that the kid picked on earlier.
Yeah.
They show up and
that
beat him up.
That was just a big mistake on his part.
Yeah, it really was. It ruined his whole plan.
Made him late too. So
yeah.
Ruined his plan twice. That's what you get for being a little weirdo, dude.
Yeah. It really seems like his own frustrations and his own personality really got in the way of like everything he tried to do in this episode.
Yeah. That's real strong character there. Okay.
Also, what did those bikers do to him? Because there was some concerning implications with with the way they were discussing him when they got to him.
I wasn't paying attention, I guess.
All I'm saying is they were being a little creepy.
Well, I guess that's what happens. At the very end I wrote, the stand, but I don't know what that means. Was there a stand?
The electric stand showed up at the very end behind them and like scoped out the fact that the guy lost.
Okay. So it just showed up and was like, what's up?
They didn't see it. It was like, no one saw him.
Okay, I'm glad you remembered that. Do you wanna any final thoughts on that episode or anything to start off with episode 8?
Well, I'll say this. These last few episodes have confirmed my earlier thought that this was really being, at least for the time being, approached as more of a villain of the week show, and
for sure.
I definitely enjoy that sort of thing. So I've definitely enjoyed how things have gone so far, and it's been fun.
Isn't that fun that they're gonna do a villain of the week thing for a little while and then switch to the like main villain guy? That we get both of those. That's cool. We get some time to like see all the different characters and weird folk and weird creatures going on in this weirdo town.
Also, we didn't mention they've reintroduced the radio.
Yeah.
Opens a few of these episodes.
That's a fun gimmick.
Yep.
There really is such a, what's the word? Like a theme, but something different. A feeling, I guess, to it's such a unique sort of theme and feeling that this series part 4 and also the city brings about.
Yeah.
I don't know where else I could think of something like that. It's very, I don't know. It's like weird because it's so like weird and strange, but also kind of like homey, and
definitely unique for the JoJo series.
Yeah, because I feel like on one hand it feels like calm and like my friends are here and we're gonna have a good time, but also literally anything could kill me, but that's okay. Yeah. So I don't know how like, those things go together, but that's what it feels like, because it's the summer too.
It's really, I mean, this isn't the perfect way to describe it, but it's really kind of like a slice of life JoJo.
So you still have like that. You still have all the like very intense fighting of JoJo, but you have sort of high schoolers hanging out. It's summertime.
One thing I think that captures that well is that you get situations in a few of these episodes where you'll have, especially when there are scenes with just Koichi handling situations on his own, you'll have Josuke or Okuyasu walk by and just sort of notice he's there, and it's like, oh, hey, it's Koichi, and then walk away. Like, they didn't add anything to the situation. They just happened to be walking to see by. Them. That's a very slice of life thing to do.
That's true. So, episode 8. That's a thing.
Yeah, this is where I have a bit of a thought that I had about the end of this episode, but
the first note that I have here is just unrealistic. Strange that people like Koichi.
But it becomes a bit more understandable when you realize that this girl is completely psychotic.
She is she's got some problems. Her ideas of things are not so much how they actually are.
Yes.
And she's very intense.
Here's something. I thought with the first half of this episode that she was just your typical, like, psycho-obsessive girlfriend character in anime, which is always, it's a very specific brand of insanity. There are certain things you expect and certain, like, how far their insanity goes or what they're willing to do or what you can expect them to do. The latter half of this episode completely killed that, and I realized that she was legitimately just a full-on psychopath.
She does kidnap Koichi.
Yeah.
She does force him to eat some paper.
Yeah, and I feel like this is very JoJo to do this, to take what is a pretty well-established character role in anime and just drive it to such an extreme.
Yeah. She's not... I still don't know why she likes Koichi. I gotta tell you.
Once I realized she was crazy, I just thought, you know what, she's crazy. No point in questioning this, but... Yeah, if we want to question it, it doesn't make sense. There's no logic to this.
There's no good qualities to this young man.
Especially when you look at what she says about him and compare it to anything he's presented of himself at any point. Well, she
says that he's got something that no one else does. And I don't know what she could possibly mean. Other people have a stand.
Yeah.
He got worse grades than Okuyasu, which is amazing. Congratulations, Koichi.
Yeah.
And he's kind of a coward. I'm sorry to really hate on Koichi this time around. But this lady likes Koichi so much, and he's such an indecisive little coward. I'm sorry, but he really is.
It is hard. It's impossible to understand, honestly.
And you know what? Sometimes when you're 15, you are an indecisive little coward. I know I was. But I also had 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons, and I don't think that Koichi has any Blue Eyes White Dragons. So, I don't know. The class rep has her hair set on fire.
He really seems like the sort of person to... He probably just has a deck full of Wadapons and Kuribos.
And he's not even nice. Because the second he gets, like, power over other people, he abuses it.
Oh, yeah,
and I see this happen often with characters. Let me bring up Fluttershy for a moment. Moment Fluttershy gets a little bit of courage, she starts taking advantage of people, and she becomes a bit of a bully. I don't think she really is the element of kindness. I think she's doing it out of timidness so that she doesn't have to confront other people. And that's my hot take on Fluttershy. I think Koichi's a bit of a Fluttershy. He doesn't have power over people, so he acts timid, but if he gets power over people, he starts to become a bully. And that's why I'm not a fan of Koichi.
To be fair, that's a pretty consistent trope in those sort of characters.
That's true.
And in any episode where that character is given confidence, they always immediately become corrupt.
I am very sorry for hating on Koichi. Sometimes he's a very nice friend.
I'm not at all sorry for hating on Koichi because I feel very vindicated in doing so.
That's fair. I've changed my mind. This is the Koichi hate blog. Now, yeah, so the class representative has her hair caught on fire, and then she gets a cool new haircut. Thanks, Okuyasu.
It did work out better than it should have, honestly.
She could have died. She could have easily died. She could have easily gotten, like, disappeared, too, if Okuyasu, like, missed a little bit.
Yeah.
So then Josuke does a plot to scheme and weasel to get her to not like Koichi, but he didn't consider the fact that Koichi was the bottom of the barrel to begin with, and that she clearly isn't. Like, there is no reason behind this.
Yeah, I wrote this plan will never work.
Do you have anything? You said you had something else to say about this episode.
Well, first off, I want to say that...
Also, the girl's name is Yukako.
Okay.
I don't know if we need to bring that up, but...
well, when she does kidnap him, that the scene of her appearance, he opens his eyes and she's just at the window. That's some serious horror movie stuff right there.
Yeah, I would have for sure thrown up.
Oh man, that was. And he had a nightmare just before then about her. Like he was having a nightmare. He wakes up from a nightmare about her to see her at his window, bust in and kidnap him with her psycho hair.
And somehow he didn't throw up. So I guess I have to give him props for that.
Yeah, he did handle that situation better than I feel most people would, honestly. But it is JoJo. People usually don't panic in these sort of situations as much as normal people would.
But Koichi is one to panic usually,
yeah.
So.
And you know, the actual everything that happens in the sort of mansion place is just really, it's so crazy. It's so crazy. And her plan, here's my little tangent here. Her plan is to basically break him down mentally to the point of total dependence on her. And at first I'm thinking, you know, it's such a crazy idea. Why would you do this? Like, no sane person would ever come up with that sort of plan. Obviously, she isn't sane, but I'm just saying. And then I realized, now, if you think about it, this is kind of the only conceivable way that Koichi, or any human being who is aware of her personality or state of mind, would ever willingly be in a relationship with her, is if she broke them down mentally to a state where they would. Yeah,
I mean, it's terrible, but it could work, I think.
It's kind of the only way things...
On a tiny high schooler?
It's if you think about it, it's the only way things go her way. Is if she kidnaps him and psychologically tortures him till he breaks.
She tried to be normal and ask him out, and that still didn't work because he was just too indecisive and weird. Like he didn't know what to say. He was confused. He was like, I
mean, to be fair, if you were a self-aware Koichi, would you be at all considering that the person in front of you is trying to ask you out?
If I was Koichi, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. Like, I mean, I guess it's in character, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's not gonna work. He's too far gone. So she kidnaps him, and honestly, it would have worked. I feel like, I mean, obviously, don't do this. Like, this is, even for Koichi, like, this is a terrible, awful thing to do. But, like, it probably would have worked on him. If she just, like, had him around for long enough, like, he didn't have friends to save him, like, he'd probably get used to it. He'd probably be like, I guess this is what my life is now, and might as well accept it.
Well, I feel like it would probably work on a decent amount of people if you put them through that for long enough.
Yeah, and he's so young, you know. That being said, absolutely don't do that. That's a big crime, and also a bad time.
But if you are a complete psychopath, it might be your only choice.
That's probably the best option she had. That being said, I like the universe where she doesn't worry about Koichi because Koichi's a little weirdo. She doesn't have to worry about him. Oh, she almost kills the class representative.
Yep, because she did her job and tried to get Koichi to do his. And then Koichi's friends were like trying to make a bad impression of him. I thought she was gonna murder them. Yeah, I did too.
I was surprised she played it off cool.
And what I'm surprised by is usually, and this goes into what I said earlier about JoJo taking these sort of tropish sort of characters and completely JoJoifying them. this sort of character wouldn't usually take to heart that sort of criticism of the person they're obsessed with.
Mm-hmm.
They would completely deny it or not even show any sign of noting or hearing it. Or deny it or something. Anyway, she completely believes it and then tries to better him.
She initially goes to kidnap him and says, your friends don't have a very good opinion of you. So I think she was on, right. She wasn't sure what to believe yet, and then she saw his test score, right. And then she was like, absolutely, you're a trash person. I'm going to fix you now.
Interesting, though, that she's... Again, this sort of character usually tries to deny any fault in the person they're obsessed with. She's instantly willing to consider it.
She thinks she's going to unlock his potential.
Which is definitely unique, I think. Although I don't know what she sees as his potential.
I guess I don't know. It might be like what, like an anime when like somebody, like it's their first day and then somebody gives her like an umbrella or something and she's like, we're destined now. Nothing else will do.
Maybe.
But I don't know if he did anything like that. So, so this is like, clearly a two-parter here that we only saw the first episode of.
I do know that, if I'm remembering correctly, this is where Koichi's stand sort of evolves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So do you have any other, like, predictions for how this is going to wrap up?
Well, there's the famous English bits here that I have seen. So I know what his stand wants to do to fix the situation. And I know he's definitely going to at least attempt to get out of this situation using his stand. But I really can't say for sure, or really take any sort of guess as to how things are going to go, or how he would actually get out of the situation. Especially if his stand gains new abilities that I can't even begin to guess what they are.
Right. So this is going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
The cast of characters keeps growing greater. What do you think will happen with this lady, this Yukako?
I think that she will continue. I think there's two ways this is going to turn out. She'll either continue to be a stalker, crazy chick, and they'll occasionally be able to get her to help out. But it'll be a difficult task every time. Or when Koichi gets out of this situation, it will somehow shatter her illusion of him, and she'll just give up on him and maybe stop being relevant, or continue being relevant through some other means.
I just think it's interesting. That's kind of what happened with the swindler guy, where he was bested by Koichi, and now he has become almost a slave to him.
Yeah.
Which was strange.
I was
intimidated.
Yeah, I was a bit thrown off by the fact that the swindler guy stuck around to like be Koichi's servant. I mean, he doesn't know where you live. You don't have to interact with him in life. Why are you still here?
Koichi's full of empty threats, honestly, but this guy, he's buying it. Oh, boy. Well, JoJo, that's fun.
Yep.
I sure do love a good JoJo. Overall thoughts of everything we've seen up to now?
It's like I said earlier, it's definitely unique for JoJo, the situations we've been shown so far. Because, all the other ones are pretty extreme, dramatic, like world event situations that they get thrown into. And I mean, definitely there are certain elements to this that are decently high stake, and I don't mean this at all as an insult to it, but it definitely feels like smaller scale.
It's all within this one little weirdo town.
Yep, and I enjoy that. I like this sort of.
There's so much personality to it.
Mm-hmm. Because when you confine the story, well, when someone who's good at making stories confines the story, then they can then expand on everything else: the characters, the setting, the different ideas that they throw in, and I definitely think they're doing that here. And I've enjoyed it.
Yes, I'm very excited for you to watch the future episodes. There's so many good characters still to discover, and some fun plots.
And I definitely think when they do get to the bigger plot, because we've had this time to build up the characters, it'll be more enjoyable.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. We're going for a good ride, guys.
Yep.
Strap on in. And make sure to catch us next week.
Hopefully, there will be less Koichi.
I
mean, obviously not in the next episode, but
yeah. I forget which ones are after that, but very soon we'll get some more good characters. Well, that's all for this round, guys. See ya.
Do you want me to say an outro bit?
Say like peace out or something.
Salamat Jalan.
Whoa. I know you know that one, guys. Bye.